Where are you from?
New Jersey.
Okay. What was life like growing up in New Jersey?
It was a little different, you know. I was born out there in Beth Israel Hospital. I was out there in Newark, New Jersey. A lot of crazy stuff, but it was pretty straight. A little difficult, but it was pretty straight.
Okay. When you say difficult, like, what do you mean?
A lot of gang violence at that time. At that time, there was a lot of gang violence. I was born in the 90s, like literally 1990. So being raised around that time was a little different in New Jersey. Yeah. A lot different.
And so do you feel like people had to be in gangs to sort of like protect themselves, or like why was that happening?
I think that West Coast culture slid like a little breeze straight over to the east side, and there's a lot of Bloods and Crips over there, Latin Kings on my side of town, and my mom was like, you know, we need to get up out of there because it was a little too difficult. I don't think anyone needed to use that for protection or join a gang for protection. I just think there was just a lot more, you know, followers versus looking for protection. They just wanted to be with, you know, they boy, or they just see everybody wearing red at the time, so I'm wearing red, versus, nah, I need protection. It wasn't too much of a protection thing.
Do you come from a musical family?
Not really, no, but I will say this. My mom loves music, all types of music, like all types of music. So I will say I've listened to all types of music growing up, from country to rock music, Chemical Romance, like all types of music. I love Latino music. I love Bad Bunny. I've been listening to Bad Bunny, Sephora. I like all types of music.
Wow. And so what made you, like, what drew you to music specifically?
Which is crazy. I wasn't really even drawn to it. I just like to hear your lifestyle, and then I can picture it. So that drew me really into it more than anything. That could have been down to gospel music, you know, them singing a particular song. I don't listen to gospel music, but the times that I've heard it and I've listened, and I've been, oh, I can see what they're, or a particular artist might say something or do a couple things that might make me go, oh, I can imagine that. Those words are just, that's what caught my attention, or something relatable. So once I started realizing music is relatable to my lifestyle at certain points and my moments in my life, that's when I really started being drawn to it.
How old were you when you came to Atlanta?
I was 7. When I came down here, I moved to Stone Mountain, and we lived out there in Stone Mountain for a little while. Then my mom worked at Nordstrom's, Perimeter Mall. She got a, you know, of course, through the hustle, got her bread up, boom, boom. It's me, my brother, my 2 little brothers, Tiny, his name was Lamar, my other little brother, Jalil. Eventually moved to Sandy Springs. And then at the Sandy Springs, that was really it. We moved from Sandy Springs to Alpharetta. So. Okay.
And so what was your mom doing at Nordstrom's?
She was doing retail on shoes. So she was doing shoes, stock, basically. That's what she was doing back then. And she would just get up. And that time, we didn't have a vehicle. So that sucked, because she was getting up 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning to catch the bus from Stone Mountain all the way to Sandy Springs just to go to work at the mall. And then same thing coming back home. So it was that was a difficult thing. And we knew nothing about Atlanta at that time. Nothing about Atlanta.
How did you feel about the city, like, when you first came? Like, what were your feelings? Because you came from a big city, Newark, to coming to Georgia, you know?
I felt like the streets are like highways. Y'all streets are like highways compared to, you know, definitely.
That is facts.
That caught us off guard. And I felt like everybody couldn't drive. And I felt that immediately, because I'm used to being like in cars where everybody's speeding, I guess. And the people, I will say, the people were more accepting.
Nicer?
I didn't say that. You got to understand, where I'm from, like I just said, everything is treacherous. So it's more of a I'm on the defense. I don't know what you're up to. Versus Atlanta, there's not too much of that thinking. It's more of a southern hospitality. Hey, how you doing? Like a head nod. Versus somebody up north giving you a look, or just not even willing to speak type of thing, because it's a defense thing. It's like we have to. Everybody's usually up to something. Not everybody, but the energy's off like that sometimes because of just how we were raised. Versus the South, I don't think everybody how big it is here. I don't think, you feel me, it's so big here.
It's different.
So it's a lot different.
Yeah, I feel like those high density cities are like super aggressive, more aggressive than the like spaced out places.
Yeah.
But that's also because like you have so many people competing for resources in one little space.
Yeah.
But which place do you like best?
In Atlanta? Do
you like Georgia or do you like Newark?
I love both of them actually. I came to love. I'm always love my home. Newark, New Jersey. I'm always love my home, big city. But I'm not going to ignore the times I've lived here. I love Atlanta as well. I definitely appreciate Atlanta. It's so peaceful. And the difference is though, as a young person, at a certain point when I was growing up here, it was boring. I felt like this is a great place to live as an older person, but things have truly changed. So now, as you can see, Atlanta is where for the young people, like to run wild and free. And it's not this. It's still the same for older people too. Now it's just like a big combination. At first, for me when I was younger, it was a leeway. It was like biased. I felt like, you gotta be old to live out here. But it's clean air. It's a lot of women. It's more women than men. And it was cheap at the time. Now Atlanta's got heavy on them taxes. They're not playing. And these young boys, they having fun. They having fun out here in Atlanta, and that's a lot of things to do out here in Atlanta too. It was always things to do, but things have changed in a different aspect. So,
can you talk a little bit about how you entered the music industry?
Yeah, I'm going to be honest about this whole situation, which was very interesting because I was working at a factory just 2 years ago at Capstone Logistics, and my boy Tim in the gym hit me up at Hammond Park. I was going up there after work playing ball like a regular old day. I literally go to work, go play ball at Hammond Park. So I'll go over there to Hammond Park. I'm chilling with my boy Tim. He's literally just telling me, hey, Blue about to start up this label. You still rap? You still sing? You still? Nah, I don't rap and sing no more, bro. I stopped doing that. I don't feel the same about it, but I do got two people, I got two people in mind that you can, really three in mind that I think you should look at. Mm-hmm. So from there, this was the interesting thing about this. We waited, my boy Blue hit me, he hit up Tim, and then Tim said, meet me at Tony's Bar and Grill. So we go to Tony's Bar and Grill. My man Blue is sitting in front of me. Now, I want everyone to listen to this, because this is what drew me into coming into this music thing. At first, like I said, I was really willing to live like an everyday average person. Now, peep what I just said. I was willing to live like a regular average person. Blue sat down in front of me, and I'm gonna say this too. My man was, we were just chilling. We had our drinks. We were vibing out, boom, boom. Tim, and it's late. Tim done fell asleep.
At the bar?
Nah. Oh. He got out the bar. He stepped out the bar, went to the car. He done fell asleep. Okay. He left us. But I came here with my boy Tim.
Yeah.
I know Blue from back in the days when I was younger, when I was like in high school, but I haven't seen him in a while. And at this time, Blue has became a DJ for Little Baby. And so, I'm not aware of this because, like I said, I was willing to live an everyday average lifestyle. I was ready to just work at a factory, wake up, take care of my family, go back home, work at a factory, So We in the Tony's Bar and Grill. Blue is breaking down his ideas. Now, I don't know how other people do this, but your ideas end up becoming the real thing according to who you are. Everybody doesn't deserve it. This is real things that I think about before Blue even came around. Everybody don't deserve money, everybody don't deserve power, everybody doesn't deserve certain things. That's why you have certain athletes. Everybody's not an athlete. Everybody's not a journalist. Everybody can't do that, because if they could, then everybody would. That's why everybody's not an artist, even though everybody's trying to be, but everybody's not an artist. If you got that touch, then you got that touch. And you have to know your role. Like, you really got to know your role in this world sometimes, or take a chance to take a step back and look at yourself and be like, I need to try this before I get to here, because then I can come back and do this. There's many ways of handling this. In this time, Blue basically was telling me like, yo, I want to start up a label. I have ideas. I want to do this. I want to do that. Then I'm going to open up a store. Then I'm going to open up a clothing store. Then I'm going to open up a studio. Then but the order he was breaking it down is what drew me. And so then it led back to the music thing in my head. He's basically saying, I want to start up a label from the ground up. You know, I have a lot of access. I think whoever I'm going to do this with, we can do this and take advantage of it as a team. I just need a team. Now keep in mind, we both tipsy. We at the bar, yeah, me and my boy both tipsy. But still, and I don't even drink like that. And neither does he, which was crazy. This night was a particular night because we were just talking all night till the bar closed. And he's a real private person. So that's very rare you get to catch him opening up in that moment. Very rare. He does not. He just, you know, my man is a straight boss, pit bull. Like, but at the same time, whenever he feels like he's open to leak knowledge, I think people should keep their ears open and, you know. So as he's telling me this, I'm like, yo, I got an artist for you. He like, oh yeah? I'm like, no, I'm with you. I'm willing to follow your dream. And he just started laughing at me. I said, no, I'm serious. Because you really, I hear everything you're saying, detail, I can see it. See, you're not rapping right now. You're not even doing poetry. You're literally telling me what you're expecting in the next couple years, with, let's just say 5. You're detailing everything to where I can see it. I would be stupid not to follow. I'm not saying I'm a follower. I'm saying I would be stupid not to be right behind you and peep game and gain knowledge, and not like put behind you as well. Because you're basically telling me from the ground up, we can blossom into something totally different, or comparison to QC and other people. Now, a lot of people will say stuff like that, but you would have to see it to believe it. I'm seeing it while he's talking to me. So from there, I said, you just need bits and pieces, people to invest in, and people that you can trust and be loyal to. All right, cool. I got an artist for you. His name's Rahzi. He like, all right, I'll say, yo, he was born in Jersey, but he lived out in South Carolina. And, you know, I'm gonna bring him out here. Blue said, cool. Blue brung him out. You know, Blue told me to bring him out, so I brung him out. He does a show at Major League. At this time, Blue's DJing, and he has DJ Scream and DJ Holiday there. I'm pretty sure, yeah, DJ Holiday. So they're both there. Rahzi's opening up, he's performing, boom, boom, boom. I'm telling Blue, hey, this is the kid. This is him. This is the one I was telling you about. Just watch. It's gonna speak for itself. The people gonna speak for him. Like, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you he the one. I'm gonna let the people tell you. Wait till you hear his music. He's not just like a regular old. He's really. So, boom. Rahzi performs. Blue hear him. He like it. You know, Rahzi taking pictures, and this is cool for Rahzi because at this time, Rahzi was only 20 years old, and he didn't know what to expect. Now he's meeting people that he sees on Instagram, like, oh shit, this DJ Holiday. You know, and for me, I'm happy that he gets to see this. So I'm really enjoying this moment. He's enjoying this moment. So boom, boom, boom. We knock it down. me and Rahzi started talking. Yo, you got to come back and forth, boom, boom. Blue pulls us to the studio. He tells us to follow him to the studio. So we follow him to the studio. In my head, I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't know what was about to happen next. I just knew my boy was about to be with them. That's how I looked at it. This man Blue, monkey wrench. Since you brung him, you're gonna be the one to manage him. I don't know how to manage anybody. I never did this before. Don't worry, I'm gonna show you. So next thing you know, I'm like, all right, let's do it, And from there, that's when my feet started getting wet that's when it really started coming. That's when we really hit the field and I started learning a lot from a lot of people. Things I've never did before. I'm not gonna say, I was going state to state when I was younger. No, I literally just drove from one of my family members and a friend to New York and back. Now that I'm with him, I'm driving state to state. I've been introduced to Lil Papa. It's a lot of people it's a couple people. I'm not gonna do that. I've been introduced to a lot of people, and it's been through Blue. I'm not gonna lie, and he has definitely put me on game. And then from there, he'll tell me like, sometimes you just gotta jump in it. I'm not gonna be there to tell y'all everything. I'm not gonna be there to tell y'all everything. So y'all gotta just jump in it. Show me what you want to, show me that, you at least want to do this. So I'm like, all right, bet. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm about to do it. I have learned something. I'm about to do it. So let me try to get Rahzi a section. Let me find out, like, what do I say? How do I phrase it to this promoter? Or, he put me on game because now I have to pay attention the next time we go to another club. I'm walking behind him. He's already taking care of the section. Way ahead of time. He's already spoken to the promoter. He's walking to the promoter, introducing Rahzi to the promoter. He's walking to the DJ booth, shaking hands with the DJ. Now me, from there on, every day, every time we go out, I walk up to the promoter. I walk up to the DJ. I learn from other people's failures. Basically is what he was putting me on game. It's a lot of people who aren't consistent. So, and that goes down to any position or any role. So now the best thing about this is, after he told me his dream, and I'm learning from him, I've realized I want to know every role. I want to know every role. I want to know how to be the cameraman. I want to know how to be the engineer. I want to know how to be the producer. I want to know every role. See, this is how you become a boss, because my boy is a boss. He knows every role. He won't let himself get shorted or anything. He's always prepared. So before he sits here and puts his money behind anything, he needs to know, are you willing to invest in yourself? That's where a lot of artists and a lot of people, lack at. They're assuming they're going to piggyback and then, That's where, the crossfires kick in. Now you're not showing your consistency. Because see, if you really want it, you'll do what you have to do. I'm not going to say you'll do anything. That sounds stupid. I'm not going to do that to you. I'm saying you're going to be consistent to yourself of knowing or trying to seek what to do. Do your diligence. If you can't afford studio time, save your money and go buy a studio. Literally. You all now, from there, like I said, you just an artist, but you can be more than that. You want to know how to record yourself. You want to know how to be a producer. Now you just cut off another engineer because, see what I'm saying? You're putting more value into yourself. Now you're adding more to your arsenal. There's a lot of people who say they won't sign to a label. It's 50-50 on that. Because if you get all of these things in your arsenal, when you do sign to a label, there's no 50-50, 60-40, there's 70-30. Because versus just assuming or making the assumption that you're supposed to get this amount because you just, no, it's different when you already know. No, I already have merch. I didn't need you to do that. I already got it. But I learned this from my boy. So, and then from there, meetings, just all types of stuff. I learned when you're doing a label, you have to have a system. The artist has to have a formula. Then when it's combined, it's a whole nother ball game. You see what I'm saying? It's just, a lot of people don't, they just assume that they're going to drop a song on YouTube or SoundCloud a couple times and somebody's going to hear it. It works for the, once again, like I said at the beginning of this conversation, for those special ones. Everybody isn't that special one. So you do have to stick, you have to stand out or try to find a way to stand out. You know, it's literally, if you told me I want to do another interview on your boy, cool, let's do it. We're going to be putting down on the marketing, promoting, so everyone can see it. I want him to stand out. You see what I'm saying? And it's nothing against nobody, but it's the whole point of making an example. Yo, you guys should do it too. Put down, invest in yourselves. You want other people to see your point of view in this world and in your music career. That's what the interview's for. So the more and more I sit in this industry and I learn, I feel like everybody has to know what they want. A lot of them just jump in and think they know what they, no, I think you really need to know what you want and what it takes to know what you want. And yeah, you just gotta be open-minded, consistent, patient, and make smart decisions. It's okay, you don't have to rush anything, but at the same time, don't be scared to jump in there. Because you're not gonna know if you did it right or wrong unless you jump in there. I would never know if I'm supposed to play this type of Rahzi song if I don't try it. Now I know what type of song needs to be played in a particular area. Now I know how to market and promote me, Rahzi, we knock it out. And keep this in mind, the label has just really started. So all we're doing, we've learned fast. We learned this in 2 years. 2 years, my boy done ran through, he did a marketing and promoting tour with Blue. Blue has put him on a marketing promoting tour, promo tour, 13 states. We went with QC to Official on a whole tour twice. So he went 3 tours. This is experience that we've gained, through my boy Blue. And from that experience, and Blue wasn't there on the QC tour. He just was like, hey, y'all know what to do, right? I was with you on the promo tour, literally, promo tour. We were putting up flyers on trees, pictures. We were out, posters, we were out there. We were the street team. Blue was right next to me. Starting from the ground up. This is the boss man. My big boy, family, my dog. He's out there with us, teaching us, hey, this is how you do it. Because I know y'all never did this before. You're right. I've never just put up a flyer and just, I'm just learning. But I'm learning the street team part now. Once again, I'm learning something from another, everything that comes across me, I learn and I keep it in there because I've realized the knowledge that I've gained really is access to a lot more open doors. And I've come across other artists who are really just, some of them are really good but don't know what they want to do. And some of them just spin and not know where it's going. And I feel bad for them, especially when they're good and they've really went through something. So it's like, dang, I wanna put you on, and it's not even on some like, I can't put you on because I gotta take care of him. But that's the thing that I've learned in this industry. I have to literally, when I'm with Rahzi, I have to put all my time behind him at the moment, because like I told Blue, I believe in his dream. And the first artist to the label is Rahzi. So would you start your own management agency? I don't know. I probably would later on, like when we get to that point, because then I have proof of my supportive information. Like, look where I got them. Versus just saying, yeah, I'll start making up a management team while we're still trying to get there. So when we get there, and it's like festival paying and stuff like that, I can say, yeah, I would like to make a management team.
What's the most difficult aspect of being a manager?
Probably the criticism. Because if you do something wrong or you don't get it done, the criticism comes in. So, and it can come in many different ways. So that's probably the toughest one. So the artist sits there and feels like he's not getting exposure. That's because, you told him that. You told him you can do this, you can do that. So, and you can't get it done. It's the criticism that comes around because he has the right to criticize you. So that's where it sucks, especially if you know they have the right. But now, if you're doing it right, and this is the only resort that comes out of it, and you still get criticism, in that type of manner, even still, that's it. Once again, you still got to take that to the chin because, yeah, everything's done, but those weren't the results you expected. You wanted more. When you're a manager, you always want more than you think, and it's really tough. The criticism is probably the toughest thing. 'Cause if you don't do right, you get the stones.
How do you maintain a positive relationship with your artists when, you're in a field where it's highly competitive and, you guys are bound to have a disagreement?
I tell my artists everything we do is for our family. This is how we beat, outsiders. Because a lot of people are doing it for, they say they do it for their family, they're doing it, I need this for the money, stuff like that, that's cool. I'm saying we're not even doing this for ourselves. Rahzi's not doing this for himself. He's doing it for his son, his mother, his sister, you see what I'm saying? His whole, his family. I'm doing this for my grandmother, my great-grandmother, I'm doing this for my family. I'm saying literally, we're trying to get to a point where they're going to be good with or without us around. So we work as hard as possible. We try to be as creative as possible. We look at everything like it's friendly competition. So when other artists come around, friendly competition. Features, let's do a feature. No hesitation, let's do it. Let's make music, let's network, and the more you network, it's just building. We just look at everything like it's building. We're just building our resume. Building. And we try not to even, people might say something like, oh, how come they don't do this? Or, shrug our shoulder. That has nothing. That's so small compared to what we're thinking. Thank God we're alive to wake up to finish what we're trying to do. That's how we knock stuff out. So we won't really worry about that type of stuff. We don't even really argue with each other to that degree. When we do, you'll start laughing because it's like two big kids. It's never gotten to a degree of disrespect to where like, It's always been some like, bitch you black. And he'll be like, bitch your lips big. Your lips are big or some shit like, all right. And that's that. We don't go too deep into it. Like,
what's been like the milestone of your management career so far? Like your big milestone or something you was like, yo, this is crazy.
Rahzi getting his chain.
Getting the chain?
When Rahzi signed that contract and got his chain.
Oh, you was like,
he got his money.
I'm a manager in this bitch.
He got his money. He gave it to some. He gave some of his bread to his mom. That was like, and Status the jeweler came in and put his chain on his neck. He was only 22, well 21 or 22. Remember, he just did this in 2 years. This kid was just working at like an IHOP, busting tables. Like, you know how we felt? I was just at a factory. You see what I'm saying?
Damn.
Yeah.
That quick?
Yeah, I was just at a factory. He just signed the contract to CME the label. We were
crazy.
just, you know what I'm saying? It shows consistency. Mm-hmm. We're proud of our consistency. And oh yeah, we're not too far. We're right around the corner. We're about to take care of our families. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's what we were. That's why we don't see no walls really. And then once again, the creativity. Who's more creative? And I'm talking down to every aspect, down to the cameraman, down to the engineer, down to the manager, down to the artist. Idea, creativity. Everybody else is just going to do certain things. Basically, we can't go that way because everybody's doing it. We're not everybody. we want to be the ones sticking out so they can really see it. So we just boom, boom, boom. That, for me, like I said, him getting that chain, that was my biggest. I was very proud. Very proud. I was like, yeah, my boy doing his thing. We're doing our thing. My boy Blue, he's doing his thing. You know.
So earlier you talked about like your family and, you know, doing it for your family. What does generational wealth mean to you?
Generational wealth. I'm gonna say it means, to me not even being around and my kids being good. That's how long that's how long I want it to be. Like that to me. And really, it's about leaving my name in the history book. That's what that's the wealth part for me. That's the richest thing for me. Because how many people can you point out in your family that really helped you? See, that's the difference between everybody when they say they're going to do something. Like, you can't sit here and say somebody really came, like a family member really came out their pocket, threw you 10 grand and gave you 1,000 ideas. A lot of people are not going to do that. And that's I understand that, because everybody family, you know, is different. Everybody goes through their, you know, their personal things. But like I said, right or wrong, with me, I feel like even the wrong ones, if they had a little access to something, they might change their way. Even the wrong ones. Why am I saying it? Because once again, I was around some bad people. But I feel like if they had a little bit of money, their ideas on certain things would have changed, especially if you gave them proper ideas, even really showed them. You just throwing somebody 10 grand and don't say anything, it's going to be gone. You didn't need, you see what I'm saying? Like, there goes back to the beginning, everybody don't deserve money. But if I sit here and I guide you towards something, because I have experience in it, this right here leaves my name in my family's history book. This is my family wealth. This is my, you know, generational wealth. This is like, that's the biggest thing for me. Like, and it's the same thing from Rahzi. That's the deal we made. Basically, me and Rahzi made a deal before we came to Blue. Like, yo, if you want to come to Georgia, you know, you want to be an artist, yeah, we're doing this for our families. Everything we're doing is for our families. This is how we're going to leave our name in the history book for our families. Versus, you know, because your name can be in the history books of being a bad guy. Shout out to Pablo Escobar. You see what I'm saying? Your name can be in the history all types of ways. But a big thing for me. And I'm really just that's the, if I could sit here and take care of my nephews and my nieces, my sister, and be able to take care of my friends and stuff like that, with or without me being around, I'm good. Just if that would have happened right now, somebody gave me $12 billion, and then I would have died right after that. Caught a heart attack and died right after that. I wouldn't give a damn. Want to know why? Because my family has been taken care of and my name is in my family's history book. That'd be the biggest. I would go to heaven with the craziest smile. Biggest cheesy face. They couldn't tell me to stop smiling in heaven. Like, man, that boy, he happy, ain't he? Up? Because I know my nephews and nieces are good. My grandma good. My homeboys is good. You know, that right there is a big thing for me. The biggest thing. That right there is work. That's something to work towards. Especially if you, the way this world is.
So for someone watching this who aspires to be a manager like you, what advice would you have for them? Like, what's the number one thing you would tell them?
Don't be scared. Jump in there. Don't be scared. Just jump in there and don't be afraid of criticism. And you being paranoid and second guessing yourself isn't you being paranoid. That's just you being aware and making sure you don't have any mistakes. That's okay too, because I do that as well. I always second guess myself, but at the same time I've learned that's not me being paranoid. That's me just making sure I've covered all my, you know, my bases. So do your diligence. That's another thing. A lot of people don't do their diligence. Do your diligence way ahead of time and really get into it. So when things come across you or anything should come across you, you're prepared for it in many different ways. You don't, you know, that's another thing that made me second guess myself at times if I didn't do my diligence. So I've always done my diligence now on certain things. And don't ever be afraid to ask a question. That is probably the biggest thing. A lot of I know from other managers and artists that don't be afraid to ask a question. There's no such thing as a stupid question, because you don't know. You don't know. That's why you're asking. You don't know. And if you don't know, and no one's willing to give you the answer, once it goes back to what I said, do your diligence, do your research, go deep into it. Don't be scared to really learn. Want to teach yourself. Like, you like booking, percentages on beats, all of that stuff. Go do your diligence. Go look it up. Go find out what it means when they say, when a producer says he's getting 50-50 on writer credits. He didn't write anything, but he made the beat. You really got to go do your diligence and find out what that means in that paperwork. It's not hard. It's nothing bad either, but you wouldn't know if you didn't go look for yourself. You have to go do this. You know what I'm saying? So I advise you to just go, always do your diligence, be consistent. Be consistent, and don't hesitate on, on just trying to be creative. As a manager, that's another thing. Just like your artist and all your peers, be creative as a manager. Who's more creative? And look at everything like friendly competition.